Hi guys, so Keir Starmer, who has been attacking Boris Johnson on a continuous basis during this pandemic, was interviewed on Friday and he reiterated his challenges to Boris Johnson and the idea that Boris Johnson is not taking this pandemic seriously and he's offloading the responsibility that he has onto the public. So let's hear what he had to say.
Easing the restrictions, I think, is going to be the next big mistake for the Prime Minister. And he, rather than sort of saying, well, I'm not going to change the rules, it's over to you, families and communities, you take responsibility. That's not the act of a Prime Minister. The Prime Minister should say, I'll take the difficult decisions, not hand them over to individuals.
Exactly, but that's not leadership. Boris Johnson is not able to demonstrate leadership. Once again, Boris Johnson is afraid of his backbenchers. He's afraid of taking difficult decisions because he's afraid he's going to have to pay for them later. There is a real risk that in January there will be a second wave. And of course, the opposition will put pressure on Boris Johnson. The scientists will put pressure on Boris Johnson. He's going to try and wait it out as long as he can. And eventually he'll have to give in and go into another lockdown.
We can see that the tiered system isn't working in the way the Prime Minister promised. More people are going into the higher tiers, so it's not strong enough. The gaps are still there, so there isn't the support for people to self-isolate. The communications is all over the place. Go to work, no, don't go to work. Eat out, no, don't eat out. Have a Christmas, have a small Christmas. These problems have got to be sorted. So whether the Prime Minister rules it out or not is not the central question. I think the central question, Prime Minister, is what are you doing now to prevent the chance of a third lockdown?
And he's doing nothing. He's hoping for the best. This tiered system was a means to avoid a longer lockdown. The lockdown was imposed. And I called it out at the time. I said, how is it possible that Boris Johnson is going to fix a set date? He's going to fix a date for the end of the lockdown. Not following the science, not looking at the data and how, cases are dropping. And then we see, okay, cases have dropped for this amount of time. Now we'll ease the lockdown. We'll go out of the lockdown. We'll move into a tiered system if you want. No, he set a specific date and then moved into a tiered system. And as we've seen, the tiered system is not working. There's no other way of looking at this. Boris Johnson is afraid. He's not the right person for this job. You need a true leader, someone with grit, someone who's willing to piss off their party if necessary, to build a coalition. If Boris Johnson was smart, he would say, okay, to hell with the idiots in my party. I'm going to reach out to the opposition just on this issue. He doesn't have to reach out to Keir Starmer and the Labour Party on other issues, just on this one issue. It's probably the biggest issue he's going to face, apart from Brexit, in his career. And he would demonstrate true leadership if he said, to hell with those idiots in my party. Keir Starmer, let's sit down together. Let's see how we can deal with this pandemic together. Let's have clear messaging. Let's work together to deal with this huge challenge. And Keir Starmer would be willing to do that. Keir Starmer, I don't believe, would be the type of person who would say, no, to hell with it. I want to make political hay here. I want to throw you under a bus, basically. No. Keir Starmer is serious about this. And of course, it would help Keir Starmer as well. It would show him as someone who's willing to work with the Conservatives and deal with this issue that's affecting everyone. Put party politics aside and focus on dealing with this issue. But unfortunately, Boris Johnson is more interested in, as we've seen in Parliament, throwing around petty insults, turning this into a political issue, attacking the opposition, then asking for unity. It's all a big joke to him. Boris Johnson is the worst possible Prime Minister at the worst possible time. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?